Shalom. Welcome again to Five Small Stones, these short 5-minute Bible studies. And since lesson 11, we've been focusing on biblical geography and one specific location that God seemed to pick to do some extraordinary things. Just amazing. So come, let's return to Israel. And we're going to go to a specific place in central mountains of Israel, about 30 miles north of Jerusalem. It's between Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. It's the modern Palestinian city of Nablus. And in previous lessons, we saw that in the center of that modern city of Nablus is the ancient ruins of the ancient city of Shechem. In previous lessons, we talked about some of the archaeological features of the place. I talked about the wall. It was dated to the Middle Bronze Age, 2100 to 1550 BC. You can see me standing at the wall. This is just like the wall that they had of Jericho, but you can actually see the mud brick layer. And indeed, that's all that remains of the mud brick wall of the ancient city of Shechem. And it's possible Abraham and Jacob and his son Joseph walked through the gates of this wall when they visited here. So, one of the questions that we ask is, what have we seen so far at Shechem? We went back to Genesis chapter 12, where God made promises to Abraham. One couple, him and Sarah. And the first stop in the promised land was here at Shechem. But then those promises is extended to his son Jacob. And Jacob comes here to Shechem with his wives, Rachel and Leah, and all of his kids. But the promise then continues on to Joshua and the entire nation of Israel. And it's as if we're seeing these promises that are in Genesis 12, verses 1, 2, and 3, appearing here at Shechem. So indeed, who is next? When we look at those verses in Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 through 4, God promised him a place, a people, a position, and a purpose. And his purpose is that all the families of the earth would be blessed. So we look at those ancient ruins at Shechem and the standing stone right there in front of us that Joshua may have set up. Now, Shechem's an Old Testament city. It declined in importance, but it became the capital city of the Samaritans in the New Testament. There's also a village that was very close to Shechem called Sychar, and there's some scholars who believe that Sychar actually is Shechem. And then one day, we read in John chapter 4 that he, Jesus, left Judea and went away again into the Galilee, and he had to pass through Samaria. And he came to a city of Samaria called Sychar, Shechem, near the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph, and Jacob's well was there. So Jesus, being wearied from his journey, was sitting thus by the well. It was about the 6th hour. This is the story of the Samaritan woman, and Jesus meets her at the well. We remember one of the statements that she made to Jesus. She said, I know that Messiah is coming, he who is called Christ. When that one comes, he will declare all things to us. And Jesus said to her, I who speak to you am he. And he does this at Sychar, which is the location of the ancient city of Shechem. Here we see God's promises in Genesis 12, 1 through 3. They're being manifested in front of our eyes. First of all, Abraham comes here with his wife, Sarah, then Jacob with the entire family, and then Joshua with the whole nation. God's promises are appearing before our eyes, and then Jesus comes. Jesus, the Messiah, the blessing to all nations, the purpose of God's covenant that is made manifest at Shechem. So it is interesting that seemingly God picked this one spot to help us see some extraordinary things. But why Shechem? The Bible is silent about God's choice of this city. Well, we will continue in lesson 15. And the next geographical location we're going to be going to is the Sea of Galilee. So until then, shalom.